Here's a little simple Christmas project. It's a fun little tree, and I'm going to show you how I decorate it in this very lacy wire fashion. So what you need for this project is your usual toolkit of round nose, chain nose, flat nose and cutters, and I'm using aluminium wire, which is 1.25 millimeter, and also some 0.4 for the lacy work. So cut about a foot of or 12 inches of wire and find the center and use your flat nose pliers to grip, it doesn't have to bang in the center, but grip the center of the wire and pull the wire up, straighten it on the side and then again on the other side. So this is going to be the base of the tree, so you want a nice flat base there. Then place the flat nose pliers again on the side and then bend the wire at an angle to make the base of the tree, and then you're going to do that on the opposite side as well. So just pull the wire out and you can see that's now the base of the tree. Then decide how wide you want it here. So I'm just going to eyeball it and go that width. And again, I want this to be nice and straight, so I'm going to eyeball it about there, about here maybe. And if one side, I mean, you could use a ruler obviously, one side is a bit shorter, you can always bring that, it's that lovely soft wire. So once you've got that shape, you can see this could be a very squat Christmas tree, or I could make it a little bit taller by bringing these wires, crossing them over a bit higher up, and I think I want it a bit taller. So wherever you decide for the crossover, you can then cut with your snips, leave one of them but cut the other one much shorter. And I find instead of wrapping that around and distorting the shape, I tend to cut it, create the link, and then place the wire into that link and then squeeze that down. And that way I'm not distorting the shape in any way. I'm making it very easy for it to keep the frame. And there's my Christmas tree shape. Now I've got to fix that by hammering it. I want to make it tougher. So I'm going to get my steel block and my whammer hammer and hammer the frame. This is your whammer therapy for the festive season. Again, if you wanted texture, I'm not going to use it on this one, but you could turn it over and just put the dapping head on the outside frame there. And then you don't need all of this wire here, so I'm going to cut that down. I'm going to leave enough to possibly add a bead and then make a link. So I'm going to cut some of that away and create a link at the top later. But I want to show you how I make the lacy wire inside. So to make that, I'm going to cut quite a long length because I've got to double it. So I'm going to an arm's length doubled from my 0.4 reel. So I'm just going to pull that off, cut that, and double it. I just hold the two ends together and bring the center point together. Put my pliers there, that's the center point. Because I want these wires to be parallel and close together, I'm going to squeeze them together right at the doubled end, and then with my fingers just pull the two sort of folded wires together like that a couple of times, and that means that they'll sort of stay together like that. Because this is quite a long length to work with, I'm going to start by working with it from the center. So I'm starting with the center of this length and I'm going to wrap it round any point of my frame, it doesn't matter. To secure it on there, you wrap it but then squash it down because that helps to sort of secure it on that framework. Now to make this lacy sort of design, you've got to hold it and make these swirly shapes, and so you can make circles and loops. And obviously as you make them, you hold it with your fingers. So I'm swirling it around and gripping it. And then you don't want to make it so loose. So when you come to the opposite side of the frame, you can secure it around. And again, I'm going to squeeze it. Every time I touch the frame, I'm squashing the wire. Now, as I get near to one of these loops, I can feed that doubled wire in there. That will help to join all this sort of loopiness together. Now, there's no technique in the sense that I'm not following a pattern. I'm just letting the wire flow wherever it sort of lands. So you have to, it's very, very freestyle. And again, it's hit the frame, so I'm going to. And you continue doing this until you've used 1/2 of the doubled wires. And when you've used 1/2, you can come back and use the other. So when you get to the end of your wire, you're always just going to cut off the excess. So there's, I'm pretty much run out. So I'm going to cut off the wires there, let those fall, and now I'm going to start on the other wire and do the same thing. Just loop it around, and wherever it touches part of the ready-made loops, I can use that, looping and looping and connecting to the framework until you fill. So if we go back to one that I made earlier, you can see how that's been done. It just has been curled around, connected at points, and if you want to fill the base, you can fill the base with a bead, and if you want to put something at the top of your piece, you can put another bead and then connect it to a little hanger. And that's how you make these fun little lacy Christmas trees. So have fun decorating your tree with these little decorations.